We usually hear the word routine and we think, ugh, boring, right? Kind of restrictive. But what if I told you that a routine is actually the secret to unlocking more freedom, more creativity? It sounds a little backward, I know. But today, we're going to see how building a simple daily rhythm can totally transform your life from the inside out. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll dig into the why, the surprising power that routines actually have. Then we'll get into the what, like what are the key anchor points of a structured day? And finally, we'll cover the how, a super simple way you can start building your own rhythm, like today.
All right, let's jump right into part one, the power of routine. This is all about how we can flip the script from feeling like we're just playing defense all day to actually directing where our day goes.
Does this sound familiar to you? The alarm goes off and boom, you're immediately in a whirlwind of emails, notifications, and other people's demands. You get to the end of the day, you're totally exhausted, and you feel like you were busy, but did you actually get anything important done? Yeah, that's the exact feeling we're going to tackle. Okay, so this slide really shows the night and day difference a routine can make. On the left, you see decision fatigue. That's a real thing. It's that feeling where even tiny choices, like what to have for lunch, feel huge. And psychologists say every single one of those choices literally drains your mental battery. But look at the right side. With a routine, a lot of those basic decisions are just automated. This doesn't just lower your stress, it frees up all that brain power for the big stuff, the creative work that really moves the needle. And this isn't just a nice idea. It's actually backed by science. Routines give us a sense of predictability in what can be a really chaotic world, and that naturally lowers anxiety. They also signal to our bodies when it's time to be on and when it's time to rest, which is huge for sleep. So the key takeaway here is, this is as much about your well-being as it is about your to-do list. I just love this quote because it makes so much sense. You wouldn't build a house without a solid foundation, would you? Of course not. Well, routines are that foundation for your day. They provide the stable structure that lets you build a productive, fulfilling, and even creative day right on top.
All right, so we've covered why routines are so powerful. Now let's move on and look at the what. We're going to break down the anatomy of a day into its key anchor points.
So a really helpful way to think about your day is in 3 distinct phases. You've got your morning launch, which sets your trajectory. Then there's the midday focus for when you do your most important work. And finally, the evening wind down, which is all about recharging. Each one has a totally different purpose, and you guessed it, a different kind of routine. Think about it like this. A tiny movement of a ship's rudder can change its final destination by hundreds of miles. Well, your first hour of the day, that's your rudder. How you spend it, whether you're reacting to your phone or setting clear intentions, is going to steer the entire rest of your day. And listen, you do not need some complicated hour-long morning ritual. These little micro-routines are incredibly powerful. A glass of water gets your metabolism going, 5 minutes of sunlight helps set your body's internal clock, and just picking one top priority gives you instant clarity for the day ahead. Simple, right? Ah yes, the dreaded afternoon slump. We've all been there. It feels almost inevitable, but here's the thing I learned. It doesn't have to be. With just a few simple routines, you can actually transform that energy dip into a power block of deep, focused work. The key here is just being intentional. So instead of mindlessly scrolling on your phone, take a real break. Go for a short walk. Do a quick stretch. Instead of trying to juggle 10 things, block out a solid chunk of time for just one important task. And a game changer, eat your lunch away from your screen. It's a small shift that lets your brain truly reset. We tend to think the day is over once we're done with work, but the evening wind down might just be one of the most productive parts of your entire day. It's not about stopping. It's about setting up your future self for a great day tomorrow. These small actions have such a huge domino effect. Getting away from the blue light on screens helps you sleep better. A quick 10-minute tidy-up means less stress in the morning. And spending just 2 minutes planning your next day's top priority, that means you wake up with purpose, not panic. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory. But how do you actually start doing it without getting completely overwhelmed? Let's dive into our final section, a super simple guide to crafting your own rhythm starting right now. Seriously, forget trying to change everything at once. Just pick one anchor point. Let's say it's your morning coffee. Then you stack one tiny habit onto it. For example, drink a glass of water while the coffee is brewing. That's it. Then just see if you can do it for a week. The goal isn't perfection, it's just building that consistency muscle. And this right here is probably the most important point of all.
We get so hyped about making a huge life change that we try to do way too much, we burn out, and then we quit. But the real power is in the small, seemingly insignificant things you do every single day. That's what creates real, lasting change.
And please, please remember this. Life happens. A routine is not supposed to be a cage. It's a safety net. It's the structure you can always come back to when things get a little chaotic. It's there to support you, not to control you. A good routine has to be able to bend, not break.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Not, what does your perfect life look like a year from now, but simply, what is the one tiny, simple action you're going to take tomorrow to start building your own rhythm? Because really, that one small step is all it takes to begin.